In today's video, I will be talking about the moon. So, buckle up and let's go. The moon is a rounded astronomical body that orbits the Earth as its only natural satellite. It has a rocky silicate composition and is of planetary mass but has no significant atmosphere, hydrosphere or magnetic field. What is one interesting fact about the moon? The moon is the fifth largest natural satellite in the solar system. At 3,475 kilometers in diameter, the moon is much smaller than the major moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Earth is about 80 times the volume than the moon, but both are about the same age. Who discovered the moon? The moon was discovered by Galileo Galilei. Earth's only natural satellite is simply called the moon because people didn't know other moons existed until Galileo Galilei discovered 4 moons orbiting Jupiter in 1610. Why the moon is cool? At night, the lunar surface gets very cold as -173 degrees Celsius. This wide variation is because Earth's moon has no atmosphere to hold in heat at night or prevent the surface from getting so hot during the day. So when sunlight hits the moon's surface, the temperature can reach 260 degrees Fahrenheit, 127 degrees Celsius. When the sun goes down, temperatures can dip to -280 Fahrenheit, -173 Celsius. What is the moon made of? 1. The moon is a dusty ball of rock, measuring 3,476 kilometers in diameter, that's roughly a quarter of the size of Earth. 2. Its surface is home to mountains, huge craters and flat plains called seas, made of hardened lava. Can everyone on Earth see the moon? Everyone sees the same phases of the moon, but people south of the equator who face north to see the moon when it is high in the sky will see the moon upside down so that the reverse side is lit. The moon goes around the Earth in a single day. Does the moon has moonquakes just like the Earth has earthquakes? According to the U.S. Geological Services, here on Earth, an earthquake happens when 2 blocks of the Earth suddenly slip past one another. The surface where they slip is called the fault or fault plane. Do moonquakes happen over there on the moon? Well, the answer is yes. The moon is still tectonically active, like Earth, generating moonquakes as our planet creates earthquakes. Researchers believe that these moonquakes happen because the moon shakes rapidly as it shrinks. So how do we know that moonquakes happen on the moon? We know this from the Apollo seismic network. The Apollo 12 passive seismic experiment was placed on the lunar surface by the Apollo 12 mission as part of the Apollo Lunar Surface Experiments package, all set. The passive seismic experiment was designed to detect vibrations and tilting of the lunar surface and measure changes in gravity at the instrument location. Does the moon have tectonic plates? The moon's mantle, too cool to move easily, has no convection and no active tectonic plate motions. How can scientists detect moonquakes? A large number of very small moonquakes have been detected by the Apollo seismic network. The total seismic energy release within the moon appears to be about 80 times less than that in the Earth. The moonquakes are concentrated at great depth, between 600 kilometers and 1,000 kilometers, which is deeper than earthquakes. Is the moon geologically dead? Or was there ever geological activity on the moon? Volcanic activity 3 billion years ago flooded lunar craters, creating lunar maria. The moon is now geologically dead. Is there oxygen on the moon? According to the European Space Agency, the moon actually has a large supply of oxygen. It's just not in the atmosphere like here on Earth. Lunar regolith, a mixture of loose dust and dirt covering solid rocks, is made up of 40 to 45% oxygen. Can we live on the moon? Colonization of the moon is a concept employed by some proposals of establishing permanent human settlement or robotic presence on the moon, the closest astronomical body to Earth. For a first permanent human space colony, the choice of the moon would benefit from its proximity to Earth. Is the moon dangerous? The harmful properties of lunar dust are not well known. However, based on studies of dust found on Earth, it is expected that exposure to lunar dust will result in greater risks to health both from direct exposure, acute, and if exposure is over time, chronic. The potential damage from inhaling moon dust is unknown, but research shows that lunar soil simulants can destroy lung and brain cells after long-term exposure. On Earth, Fine particles tend to smoothen over years of erosion by wind and water. Lunar dust, however, is not round, but sharp and spiky. How does the moon affect humans? Taking inspiration from Isaac Newton's theories, he proposed that the gravitational pull of the moon affects fluids within the human body, aggravating conditions such as epilepsy and kidney stones as well as menstrual cycles. What would happen if the moon disappeared? It is the pull of the moon's gravity on the Earth that holds our planet in place. Without the moon stabilizing our tilt, it is possible that the Earth's tilt could vary wildly. It would move from no tilt, which means no seasons, to a large tilt, which means extreme weather and even ice ages. Is there gold on the moon? There is water on the moon, along with a long list of other compounds, including mercury, gold and silver. Turns out the moon not only has water, but it's wetter than some places on Earth, such as the Sahara Desert. Are there diamonds on the moon? Only trace amount of carbon has been found on the moon's surface and none below the surface. Without carbon, no diamonds. While diamond, unlike gold, has some industrial use, industrial diamond is not particularly rare or expensive these days. Can Earth survive without the moon? Without the moon, a day on Earth would only last 6 to 12 hours. There could be more than 1,000 days in 1 year. That's because the Earth's rotation slows down over time thanks to the gravitational force, or pull of the moon, and without it, days would go by in a blink. What was found on the moon, surface materials? Lunar rocks are in large part made of the same common rock-forming minerals as found on Earth, such as olivine, pyroxene, and plagioclase feldspar. Plagioclase feldspar is mostly found in the lunar crust, whereas pyroxene and olivine are typically seen in the lunar mantle. How heavy is the moon? The moon's mass is 7.35 by 1022 kilograms, about 1.2% of Earth's mass. Put another way, Earth weighs 81 times more than the moon. The moon's density is 3.34 grams per cubic centimeter, 3.34 grams/cm3. That is about 60% of Earth's density. Why can't we see the moon during the day? We can see the moon during the day for the same reason we see the moon at night. The surface of the moon is reflecting the sun's light into our eyes. But we don't see the moon all the time during the day, and that's because of where the moon might be in the sky. What happens if the moon is red? This blood moon occurs during a total lunar eclipse. During a total lunar eclipse, Earth lines up between the moon and the sun. The air molecules from Earth's atmosphere scatter out most of the blue light. The remaining light reflects onto the moon's surface with a red glow, making the moon appear red in the night sky. Are we losing the moon? The simple answer is, the moon is probably never going to leave us. There is no well-defined scientific scenario in which the moon ever escapes from the Earth, and even the long-shot possibility emerges only long after Earth has been largely destroyed by the sun. Has anyone died on the moon? Not on the moon itself, but as of 2020, there have been 15 astronaut and 4 cosmonaut fatalities during spaceflight. Astronauts have also died while training for space missions, such as the Apollo 1 launch pad fire which killed an entire crew of 3. How many flags are on the moon? 6 flags. But what has become of the 6 American flags planted there by astronauts? Cameras attached to NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter have photographed 5 of the 6 flags left by astronauts from the Apollo missions of the late 1960s and early 1970s. Here are a few common myths about the moon. 1. Some people believe the moon has a dark side. The correct answer is that it does not. 2. Some people believe the moon causes lunacy. The correct answer is, it does not. 3. Some people believe a blue moon is blue in color. The correct answer is, it is not. 4. Some people believe the moon has no gravity. The correct answer is, it does have gravity, though just about 1/4 of the Earth's gravity. 5. Some people believe the moon has no atmosphere. The correct answer is, it has a thin atmosphere. 6. Some people believe the moon is a perfect sphere. The correct answer is, it is not. 7. Some people believe the Apollo 11 moon landing was faked. The correct answer is, no, it was not faked. So, this was all about the moon. Hope you liked this video. If you want to see more of these videos, let me know by subscribing to this channel and pressing the bell icon. Thank you. Bye. And see you next time with another video.